So today is Dustin and mine's 9th wedding anniversary, which Callie likes to say makes her 9 years and 16 days old because we got married when she was 16 days old. I am going to be making our balsamic chicken that was served at our wedding for dinner, and then cheesecake, which is our normal anniversary or special dinner dessert, as well as we are going to be doing our own paint night for a frugal, I guess, anniversary date. We are going to be doing our own paint night of wine glasses. And first we have to make breakfast. We are going to make some protein pancakes, which are just basically our regular pancake recipe with a scoop of protein powder in it, because I'm not a fan of pancakes kind of as a food by itself. It doesn't seem to have a whole lot in it, and my kids will not eat just like scrambled eggs. They really don't like that. I'm having a hard time getting them to eat protein in the morning. So I just stick some protein powder. We buy the stuff from Costco and just stick it in the pancakes or waffles or whatever we're making, and then consider that more of a full breakfast than just having the carbs and flour that goes with pancakes. It's already almost 9 o'clock in the morning and we haven't started our day quite yet. And our pancake slash waffle recipe, we use it for both, is basically your run-of-the-mill recipe. We do however many servings you want to make of it. The base recipe is just 1.5 cups of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, a tablespoon of sugar. Then we have the scoop of protein powder in there. You put 1 egg, 1.25 cups of milk, a tablespoon of oil, and then I also like to put in a dash of cinnamon because it adds kind of a little bit of an extra flavor. You can also put in vanilla as well, which makes them taste more like cake, which I guess typically they are because they are called pancakes. Second part of breakfast will be a protein smoothie, which just has a handful of spinach, then from frozen fruit, whichever ones we have. This one is tropical, and then water, as well as some chia seeds. And this is not necessarily a normal meal for us. We have something like this usually 2 to 3 times during the week, and then Dustin usually makes the full breakfast on the weekends. So there's still a couple days in there where they have cold cereal, although we make sure that they have either yogurt or milk with it as well to kind of fill it out, because cereal is not very nutritious. There's nothing in it. Nutritionist? What kind of word is that? Nutritious. It's usually not nutritious. Cereal is definitely not nutritious. And I did want to say that these videos are still going to be quite shaky because my hand is still really spastic, which means that the muscles in my right hand are basically tense all the time. So opening and closing them and trying to hold up my arm also has muscle weakness. So everything is going to be looking like I am driving down a bumpy road for the next couple days. It's getting better. It's been just over a week of that, and it's getting better slowly. But yeah, it's not very good for holding up cameras or recording things because everything's just kind of jumpy. Sorry about that. So it is now just about 9:15, so only 15 minutes later, and we have smoothies and pancakes. So really it doesn't take too much longer to make something rather than just throw cereal in a bowl. Most of it comes from the cleanup, so it's not too bad. And they're not gonna carry the plates like this with their cups on it. It's just easier to stick them that way so they're all together, and then they can move them when they move them. I really like these plates that we got. They are the Corral plates. They pretty much don't break when you have children that drop them on the floor all the time. And these ones are the divided ones, so you can put like syrup and all that kind of stuff, and it's good for picky children who don't want their food to touch, which I can understand because there's some foods that for the longest time I didn't want to touch when I was younger. So try and do the little things to please them so that it stops the big fights. This is the frugal date night thing. We got 3 wine glasses because inevitably one of us will break it, or I'll want to paint a different one for Dustin. And we grabbed the 3 wine glasses from the dollar store and some paintbrushes, and then we had to get special paint from Michael, so those are a bit more expensive. It was $18 for the paint, and then I think $10 for the wine glasses. So only $30, which is about half the price of what you would do if you went to one of the paint nights. Well, actually way less because they're normally $45 per ticket, which may still be a little bit more expensive now that I think about the fact that we only drink wine about 3 times a year, but it should be fun to do anyway. We just got our morning chores done. Some of them anyway. We did some laundry, some dishes, some tidying up of rooms, and now it is time for Eli's nap. It's actually late for his nap because we were working on the house and kind of got lost track of time. I'm just going to put Eli down and then start on the cheesecake. And hopefully it turns out, because when you have a family like ours, we usually make it in a giant Pyrex dish, one of the long 9x11, I think, pans, rather than the round ones. So cheesecake's already a little bit finicky, and when you bake it in an even larger pan, it usually is even more finicky, so hopefully it'll cook up okay. So Eli is now sleeping, and while I was feeding him, I was taking the time on my phone to kind of look up a new app called Skip the Dishes, where you can order from different restaurants around the city and have it sent to your house or your work, kind of like home delivery, or you can also do takeout, but that way it has a whole bunch of different restaurants all in one place. And the local radio station here also has a coupon code for $7 off your first order of $15 or more. So I'm going to check that out and see if maybe closer to lunchtime they have some more places that are open, because right now there's only one that you can order from, and that's a pizza place, so I'm not sure I want to order from there. And I'll see how it goes. You can break them. Then you put them in.
Only one. One more.
What happened to your eye, Bubba? Did you get bit by the bugs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you put this in the garbage.
We'll put it in a minute. Yeah, we'll clean up. Please don't shake that all over the floor. That'll make a mess.
Here you go, Mama.
Thank you. So I just got done ordering from Skip the Dishes. It was actually sort of easy. Our internet's kind of garbage right now, so trying to get the website to work was a little bit difficult, but overall it was actually pretty easy. There were all the options on there to order from, and once it hit 11 o'clock, so closer to lunchtime, I was actually able to order from one of the restaurants. But he's going to go and pick it up, because the place where he works is actually kind of north of the city, so there weren't very many places that delivered, and then there was a $7 delivery fee. So he's just going to a place that's literally just 2 minutes down the road to grab one of his favorite foods that he doesn't usually order, because we don't usually do takeout. But since it was our anniversary and I had a $7 off code, so it was $15 plus tax makes it 17 something, and then $7 off, so it was like $10.50, which is expensive for a meal if you're going to do that every day, but you know, once in a while it's not a bad thing. So overall the experience so far has been pretty good. You can apparently track, if you're getting it delivered, you can track it with GPS online, so that's kind of neat. You can see exactly where your food is in the city, but with this way it tells you an estimate of when your food's going to be done as well, so that you know when to go and pick it up and you're not just standing there waiting for it to be done, or you get there and it's already made and cold. So yeah. Alright, so the crust is made for the cheesecake, the giant one that's 9x12 or 9x13 I think, and the mess that is left behind. It is now lunchtime, so we are going to make the children some chicken soup, just with the shredded chicken that I stick in the freezer. You boil it first and then stick it in our mixer with the wire whip, and it kind of shreds it up, and we stick it in bags in the freezer, and that way you can take it out for quesadillas or fajitas, for basically quick lunches and dinners. So I'm just going to throw some of that with some frozen mixed veggies, some poultry seasoning, pepper, parsley, and bouillon into a pot, and that'll make a quick lunch with either crackers or buns or bread, depending on if I threw it on in the morning, which I did not do today. And then we'll have to get ready for piano. And this is the tricky part, where we have the giant block of the cream cheese, and we need to get four of the blocks out of it. It is basically 6 blocks total, so we have to figure out how many is 4 and hopefully not screw up the cake. This is going to be my first cup of tea / coffee of the day. I haven't had any yet, and it is, oh, that's got a timer on it, so it's not going to tell you, but it's around 11:54, and I still haven't had any sort of caffeine, so I don't know what I'm running on right now. And we have a bit of change of plans. It's really windy outside. There's like 90km/h winds that are out there, and the visibility is total crap, so I don't know. Okay. Basically you can't see anything. So piano was cancelled, and now I am just going to Actually, another thing was that instead of balsamic chicken, we don't have balsamic vinegar, so I have to adjust, and we are instead gonna have some smoked paprika on it and salt, pepper, and that kind of stuff. And then the potatoes and asparagus from our garden. We're gonna have sea bugs, which are actually shrimp, but kids like to call them sea bugs because that's pretty much what they are, I guess. And then I'm just going to make, I was going to buy at the same time as I went to go get the balsamic vinegar, I was going to get some strawberry or cherry pie filling to go on top of the cheesecake, but again, not really going to be driving out if I don't have to, so instead I'm just going to cook up some strawberries to make kind of a strawberry cheesecake and then put the remaining graham cracker crumbs that didn't go in the crust on top. And there's the cheesecake, which is cooked, though not looking quite so pretty. We'll fix that up with some strawberries and stuff. And then our chickens, which we are making 2 of them because that way we'll have leftovers for sandwiches and stuff for the week too. Sugar, water, strawberries, and we cook. Hi, Eli. Even Eli has to help out. We gotta start them young. Make them pull their weight. You sweeping, Eli? Yeah?
Oh, that's a limit. There you go. Eli, you didn't eat any. You gotta eat some. Yes, you got it. Awesome.
And moving on to potatoes. Where are they? There they are. Just red potatoes, sliced thinly, washed to get all the starches off. Then put some olive oil, oregano, Parmesan. Yes, the stuff that's from Kraft that everybody says is swept off the floors, whatever. That's what we use. Garlic from Costco. What else did I say for spices? Oregano, thyme, parsley, salt, pepper. I couldn't find the rosemary, or else I probably would have thrown that in as well. And then we move on to the next step, whatever that is. I think I have to finish making the strawberry topping for the cheesecake. Alright, so it is... The timer is always on the oven, so I don't know what time it is. It's 2:58, so it's basically 3 o'clock. The cheesecake is done. I'm going to stick it into the fridge to cool. The strawberry, basically topping, jelly, whatever, is also done. The potatoes are in the oven on slow cooking, and 2 chickens are in there slow cooking as well. I'll make the asparagus closer to dinner time, and then the sea bugs closer to dinner time as well. We're also going to put in, we got some French baguette garlic bread pre-made for $1 with one of our shopping trips last week. And so we're going to cook one of those as well, which I just remembered about, so I'm glad I did. But right now, since the kids were just kind of sitting around all day and they were doing a really good job cleaning up and doing all their chores and making sure that the house is not a huge mess as it's been since my hand really wasn't working that well and cleaning kind of sucked. So it was really, really slow going. So we've whipped the house into shape today, and so I am going to do a craft with them.